All right, hello. This is Frazelma, and I'm teaching parents. Welcome back if you have been here visiting with us before, and if this is your first time, thank you for joining us. We are going on a journey teaching parents. We're changing the world, and we're starting at your house. So, we've talked about several things on different videos. We've talked about being a good parent or being a better parent. Take sacrifice. We're not talking about money, but we are talking about sacrificing ourselves, our love, our time, our kindness, our caring. We're talking about sacrificing us for our children, putting them higher on our priority list than ourselves. We've also talked about love, and that love, the definition we gave, which actually came from our pastor, love is when you sacrifice your happiness or your dreams and goals and you help someone else achieve their happiness and their dreams and goals instead. That is truly love. Now remember, love and sacrifice go hand in hand. You really can't have one without the other. It's what God did for all of us when He sacrificed His Son Jesus to die for us. So you can't have love without sacrifice. They do go hand in hand. We're going to talk about another S word tonight. It is called supervision. Supervision. A lot of times people just don't quite understand what supervision means or what it entails. They think they're supervising when honestly they are not. So the definition for supervision that I've researched, this is my paraphrase of it, is physically being present. So now that knocks a whole lot of people out because they think supervising doesn't mean they need to be physically present, but it means physically being present and alert so that you can monitor the needs and the safety of another. Now, so when we think about children, children need to be supervised. The younger the child, the more supervision is needed. Supervision is more like running the 4x4 relay race in track. You run your leg and then you take the baton and you hand it off to the next person. But you have to run to get to that person, and you have to reach that person's hand to hand the baton off to the other runner. You don't drop the baton and you don't throw the baton. You run all the way to the other person and you hand off a baton to the other person. Now that other person is responsible to run the rest of their part of the relay. That's what supervision really is like. It is you being physically present and alert. You are monitoring, you are watching, you are teaching. If there's a moment you need to teach, you are making sure that child is safe, their needs are met until your shift is over and the next person who's going to supervise is there. So let's just take a regular day, a school day, all right? Let's pick Monday. That's fine. We get up, make sure our children are getting ready. Now let me back up. We parents get up and make sure our children are getting ready, brushing their teeth, combing hair, or whatever they need to do for their hair, lotioning their faces and their legs. We get up and supervise, physically present and alert. We don't sleep through that and hope they make it and don't care really what they look like. No, we owe our children the best parenting possible. Get up and be physically present. Now, based on how your child gets to school, many children, car riders, some of them, bus riders, some of them walk to school. So based on what your child's mode of transportation is, then you still need to supervise. If it is the bus, many incidences happen at the bus stop. Guess why? I mean, duh. It's because there's usually no parental supervision there. Parents, you need to at least stand where you can see the children who are waiting at the bus stop. Even if you don't walk all the way to the bus stop, at least stand where you can see what's going on at the bus stop. Um, yes, I know that's an inconvenience for you to actually get up out of the bed, first of all, and then put on clothes, second of all. And if it's wintertime, put on a coat. Yes, but remember, love takes sacrifice. We are responsible for our children until they step their foot on the bus. At that moment, the bus driver becomes responsible for our children. The bus drivers are then responsible until your child steps off of that bus onto the school campus. At that moment, the school staff is responsible for your child. They are responsible the entire school day until your child steps foot back on that bus. Then the bus driver is responsible. When the bus driver drives back up to the stop and your child steps off the bus, guess what? If there are no parents there, that's your shift. You're responsible for whatever happens at that bus stop. So, parents, understand supervision. Supervision is not staying in bed the whole time your children are getting ready, not knowing what's going on, not knowing if they brush their teeth, not knowing if they put on clean clothes, not knowing what time they walked out of the house. Did they miss the bus? And you know what? And children study us. But somewhere down the line, parents, we stopped understanding that we need to study them. Parenting is not as hard as we all make it out to be. Most of it is just staying one step ahead of your child. Study them, know them, stay one step ahead of them, plan for them, prepare for them, supervise them. All right? So we've got to understand supervision. If you have a work schedule where you are not able to be at home when children get out of school during the day, it's your responsibility to have someone watch that child, to have someone in the neighborhood, someone in the family, someone that you're paying to watch your children until you can get home. It is not very safe to leave them there alone, even 30 minutes, even an hour or so. No, you need to make sure there is someone responsible for watching your child or your children. Supervision takes planning. You have to plan for every part of the day. So then let's say now we're at the weekend and it's Saturday. You have to work. So your children are asleep. It's time for you to go to work. Who is going to supervise? Who do you have supervising? And the thing about supervision, you as the parent have to choose someone who you believe is trustworthy, someone who will keep your child safe. Be very careful. So many young women just leave their children with boyfriends or whomever. But if you don't know him, if you haven't spent time around him, if he's inappropriate with you, if he's mean to you, then imagine how he's going to be with your child. So we have to think as parents and plan for our children ahead of time. They are our responsibility. They belong to us. We owe them to be the best parents ever because they are our children. God gave us that responsibility. There used to be a commercial that would say, and it was just a public announcement, it was helping parents understand supervision. And the whole commercial was just this. Do you know where your child is? So it will come on usually at night, and it would ask that question. Do you know where your child is? Well, It should have made parents understand supervision. I've seen just little 6-year-olds riding bikes at 10 o'clock at night. There's no adult anywhere around them. They should not be out there. That is neglectful, parents. That is being neglectful. When young children are out and about throughout the community anywhere and nobody knows where they are, you don't even know which way they went when they left home. That's neglectful. So as parents, we need to stop being neglectful. If that's the case, we must supervise our children, and we must supervise them very, very well. Now, the public service announcement needs to be, children, do you know where your parents are? Because many times, the parents are the ones out of place. The parents are the ones somewhere, and then the children are just left anywhere. Anywhere. Some of them are left at home. Some of them are just left at a neighbor's house. Some of them, parents, don't drop your child off and say, "Ooh, can you keep them while I run to the store?" And it takes you 5 hours to get back. That's being neglectful. This is about teaching parents how to parent well, how to be better parents, how to be the best parents possible for your child. Supervision is extremely important. So we have to be careful and learn how to supervise well. Remember what the definition is. Be physically present and alert to monitor the needs and the safety of someone, of your child. If your child is playing outdoors, you should be if you're not out there with them, you should be looking out the window every 15 minutes or so, every 10 minutes, whatever it takes, to be sure they're where they need to be, to be sure everything is all right, to be sure they haven't fallen and hurt themselves, to be sure nobody else has come up to bully them or what have you. You should be monitoring them. So understand supervision. And yes, I understand that this means for some of you, you're going to have to get up and do more. That's what good parenting is all about. Get up and do more. Your children deserve all of that. They deserve the best. Don't you think your child deserves the best? Well, you should. Let's give them the best. All right. So, sacrifice, love, supervision. We talked about all of that. They all go hand in hand. They all kind of just tie in together for better parenting. All right, thanks for listening. Remember what we're doing. We're changing the world, and we're starting at your house. We're starting with you. Thank you for being here. That's all for now. This is Frazelma, teaching parents.